Hi, I'm Josh Lockheed, Trading Evangelist here at QuoteWerks. Today we're going to demonstrate how you can use QuoteWerks Paste Special functionality to import quotes you receive from vendors or to import quotes that you have created outside of QuoteWerks into QuoteWerks Web with just a few clicks. Paste Special is a fantastic tool to utilize to copy and paste data from an Excel quote into your document in both QuoteWerks and QuoteWerks Web. The best part is it's really easy to use and it's included with every edition of QuoteWerks. So let's go ahead and get started. Here I am in a blank document in QuoteWerks Web. What I'm going to do is take the Excel file that I've received from my vendor and use the Paste Special function to paste those items into my quote workbook. We'll take a look at that file that I've received from my vendor, and this is a standard vendor quote. You'll see that we have information about the company as well as the item information. So we've got the quantity, description, unit cost, etc. This information may be coming from a vendor as special pricing for a particular customer as part of a promo, or you just generally may have this pricing coming in outside of our standard ways of importing products into our system. We've got the product import wizard. We've also got our external product data sources. This is to be used when you have a use case that extends beyond those options. So what I'm going to do here is again utilize our Paste Special option to import this information into our quote and easily create a quote based on what we've received from our vendor. What I'll do first here is copy the columns and rows that contain the information that I want to include in my quote. You'll see again that we've included the field lines, so the column headers, as well as the products that we are going to bring over, and we're going to hit copy. We're going to go back into our workbook within QuoteWerks Web, and we have two options. We can either go to Edit and Paste Special, or we can just right-click on the workbook and go to Paste Special. It's going to open the same window. Here in the Paste Special wizard, we'll have the option to either create a Paste Special based on an existing template or to create a new one. I don't currently have any templates, so creating a new template is our only option. Once we have created an option for a template, we will be able to then run as one-step Paste Special, which I'll show you a little bit later. So once we've selected whether or not we want to use an existing or new template, we're going to hit Next. And then it's going to ask us for what information we actually want to bring into QuoteWerks. And we have two ways to do that. We can either upload a CSV file, an Excel CSV file, or we can paste data from our clipboard, which we've already copied that data onto our clipboard. So all we need to do is come over here, right-click, and hit Paste. And you'll see all the information that we had is now in this particular window. When we hit Next, it brings us to the Map Columns step on the Paste Special wizard. And this is where we're going to map the columns that we have in our Excel spreadsheet to the columns available within QuoteWerks. So as you'll see here, we've skipped our first line, meaning that we're not going to import the headings. However, they still show here so that we can easily map them to, again, those columns that we have available to us in QuoteWerks. So we'll start with our quantity. And the way that we map that column is we click on the column itself. We search for the column that we'd like to map it to and hit select. So right now we're seeing that the quantity from our Excel spreadsheet is now mapped to the quantity column in QuoteWerks. And we'll do the same thing for our other fields here. So description, we'll go to unit cost, manufacturer part number, and your particular files may have more or less columns to map. It's really just going to be based on what information is provided from your vendor. We're going to map our vendor here. I think we have one more, which is our manufacturer. All right, so now that we have mapped all of our columns, we should be good to go from that perspective. The next step that we want to take here is the product detail completion. What this is going to control is when we bring these products into the QuoteWerks system. This is really the first time from this particular Paste Special that we're seeing these part numbers and these different parts. So we have the ability to actually take information like manufacturer part number from the import and double check against the data sources that we already have connected to QuoteWerks and see if there's additional product information that we can bring in from those databases. So you see we have a couple different options. The first one is to pull product details from a product data source. So this would be a product data source that we currently have configured in QuoteWerks. We also have the ability to pull products from Utilize if we have Utilize enabled. And it also gives us the ability to apply required items, if any, for items being pasted as well. So again, this not only gives us the ability to import information into the QuoteWerks system, but it gives us the ability to configure how we want those items that we're importing to be handled after import. And if there's additional information we want to be included with those items after they've been imported. Everything's been set on this page, so we'll hit Next. And the next additional data mappings section gives us the ability to create an association between fields within the system. So for example, let's say that we wanted to make sure that our item type for these particular items that we're importing defaults to product. What we can do is come in and enter product as our static value for item type. And again, what it will do is make sure that each of those item types will be identified as product for the items that we're bringing in. We can do this for as many number of fields as we'd like, and we can also create expressions if we'd like. As you see here, the example is the color of item in column 3 is column 6. So if we had different information that we wanted to display in different ways within our document workbook, we can easily do that from here. We'll hit Next once again, and the paste location is going to ask us where we would like to paste these items. We can either append them to the document, or we can insert those to the document. Since this particular document doesn't have anything in it, we're just going to go ahead and append. And then we have the option to save this as a template. I already mentioned before that we have the ability to use templates to speed up the process of doing the Paste Special wizard. And in this case, we have the ability to save everything that we've done up to this point as a template. So if you have files that you're going to be receiving from your vendors that have a consistent heading and layout, you could create these templates so that you don't have to go through all of the mapping that we just did. I'm going to go ahead and create this new template and call it Paste Special. And hit Next. And we have a screen here ready to run that just shows us all of the different stuff that we've configured. And when we hit Next, it's going to actually go ahead and bring in the information from our document. Looks like we have a blank line item here that was in the document prior to our Paste Special, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that out. But I do want to point out the fact that all of the information that we had in our Excel document has been brought over. If I scroll over to the left here, you'll see that we have all of the different columns that were brought over from our Paste Special. We've got the quantity, we've got our description, we've got the unit cost, our default price modifier has been applied, we've got our unit price, which is a factor of those two items. We've also got our manufacturer part number, our vendor part number, our vendor or manufacturer. And you also see that the product item type has been brought over here as well based on our settings. Here we are back in a blank quote workbook, and what I'd like to show you is another way to do a Paste Special. If we go and select Paste Special again by right-clicking on the document workbook, we can now come in and use our template that we just created. One option we have is to run as one-step Paste Special, which I'm going to do here. If we hit Next, all we have to do here is either choose our source or go ahead and copy and paste our items from our Excel file like we did previously into this window here. When we hit Next, it's going to use all of the different settings that we had previously configured for that template and insert this information into our document. As you can see, the Run as One-Step Paste Special option is a great option if you're receiving similarly formatted quotes from your vendors, and it can save you a significant amount of time creating quotes in QuoteWerks. Here we are back at a blank document where we're going to show you how to create a paste special from template. We do the same thing as we did before by right-clicking and hit Paste Special. And this time, instead of hitting Run as one-step Paste Special, we're going to select our template and just hit Next. Here again, we're going to copy in our information from our clipboard, hit Next, and in this instance, it gives us the ability to basically go back and check our work. So in this case, if we have a quote that we're bringing in from a vendor of ours that is not exactly the same as what we had used in our previous template, this gives us the ability to go back and adjust the columns and the mappings that we have here. Likewise, we can change whether or not we want to pull product details from our product data source, utilize, or apply required items, and we can go back in and change our additional mappings. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and append this item to the end of the document and hit Next. And you'll see once again we have our Paste Special that has been added to our document. In summary, the Paste Special wizard is a fantastic tool to utilize for importing and copying and pasting of data from outside quotes. Whether it's from your vendors or reps or anyone who's creating quotes outside of QuoteWerks, you can get them in an Excel spreadsheet and then you can easily import them directly into QuoteWerks Web. Things to keep in mind, the documents do have to be in Excel. So if you do receive like a CSV file, you simply need to convert it or save it as an Excel file, and then we can import it into QuoteWerks using the Paste Special function. Thanks for watching, and if you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to our team at 407-248-1481.